Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending today to the WhaTheArt, the Art HOA with Heart. We've got a good program for you today with our special guest, Wade Harman. Uh, Wade and I have a little bit of history in that we kind of sort of met one another here on Google+, and then we managed to get him hang out in real life at a conference in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he was giving a presentation. In fact, you can blame Wade for having to put up with me on an HOA now. Wade, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good, Tim. Thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. It's going to be really fun. And regarding that hangout in real life, it was, I love meeting people and followers like that. There's nothing that makes a stronger bond than just shaking the person's hand, and for everybody that actually saw those pictures, they're in my stream. You might have to dig a little deep now because that's been a while back, but we had a lot of fun at that conference. It was blast.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it myself. Let me put my specs on here so I can see what I'm reading. You recently started a new program that you've been working on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you had in mind offering your subscribers and followers from Wade Harman?
Well, over at WadeHarman.com, actually you can go WadeHarman.com/blog, and you will see an opt-in over on the right. It's for my email list, and it's basically it shows people how to build relationships online. What most people don't understand is and I had this mentality when I first came online, was that I'm going to get online, I'm going to promote my posts, I'm going to put affiliate links in the post, I'm going to make a lot of money the first couple of months. But what I didn't understand then that I do now is you have to base everything that you do on a relationship. This is the social involvement that everything stems from. It's the relationship, building a tribe, building a niche, a targeted following. And so over there in that email list, you're going to get weekly tips on relationship marketing. That's going to show you how to approach people, what to share, how to share, Google Plus etiquette, so other social media etiquette tips as well. And as far as the course that I'm doing, actually, my buddy Jason Mathis is here, and actually Sarah Lamoth is out there. Hey, Sarah, you see my picture out here, so I got you covered. But Jason is actually helping me develop a landing page because I don't know anything about selling anything as far as that, but I know how to create courses. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing a series of 15 videos that, and again, one guy asked me, he said, are these videos just you talking into a screen? And I want to address that right now. It is not me just talking to a screen. It is me with a screen share. So you're getting to watch me as I build relationships, as I use tools. I show you how to use different tools like Nodex and other tools that you can use. I show you a very secret formula on Google Plus itself that hardly anybody even uses, and I show you how to manage circles and build relationships that way. So that course is coming out probably at the end of June, and if you'd like to be in the notification circle for that, you can PM me here on Google Plus at Wade Harman, or you can just say so right here in the comments section, and I'll add you to that notification circle when it comes out, and I'll notify you when things release. So that's about what I'm doing. It's been really busy here lately, Tim. So,
yeah, I knew you had been. That's kind of why I kind of wanted you to share a little bit of what it was there, because it kind of interested me, because I debated there for a while about jumping in on your testing of it, and we talked about it a little bit, and circumstances prevented me on my end from being able to join in the beta testing of it, but it sounded real interesting.
yeah, it is, and it's what I like about it, and the program that I've developed, as even all the way back to the beta testing part of it, is I want people around me that are close to me. I want friends. Sarah Lamoth is out there in the audience right now. She is part of this beta group. We've known each other for a long time. I've met Tim in real life. I would have loved for you to come in on this program to show me what I could need to fix, what I need to do better. And so these people are really keeping me in check, saying, hey, I don't understand this. You need to fix this, or hey, this is great. I didn't understand you could do this. And so I don't know if they're having a hard time keeping some of the secrets of what I'm trying to do, but I haven't heard anything be leaking out. But anyway, so that's a good thing. But the beta testing is not only to help me make the program better for the consumer, but it also helps me to learn more relationship marketing skills as I go along with the people that are in development process with me.
Okay. Well, you've got one good cheerleader, I guess, is as good a word as any today. My brain just is on vacation, I fear. She says, Sarah Lamar says she's seen your videos and they're very enjoyable and easy to watch. But you make it very comfortable to learn relationships. And that's one thing about a course of any kind. If it's comfortable and enjoyable for the person to participate in, so you're going to get a better response out of it, whether it's teaching somebody how to draw or paint or how to use social media. So it sounds like you're on the right track there.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I'm by no means an expert at anything, and I believe Dustin Stout, he actually had this, me and him had this discussion probably about 3 or 4 months back about an expert, and I'm by no means an expert in this, because we can all learn more things, better things, and have a better understanding. You know something I don't know about Google Plus. I may know something you don't know about Google Plus. But if we do this alone, we're not gonna succeed. We're not gonna make it to the place we want to make it to. But if we bind together, if we create a tribe and a group and help each other and compel our resources, then we have more of a chance of succeeding online, because I really believe in the theory that, and it's no theory, it's fact. I don't know why I said theory, but I really believe in the fact that you're stronger together than you are by yourself. And that's the whole point of relationship marketing. It's not just marketing, every day to people. I don't want to do that. I want to help someone. I want to be a servant to my followers. I have a responsibility to every post that comes out of my stream. I have a responsibility to these people like Sarah and others that follow me. Hey, is this going to help you? Is this beneficial to them? I don't share anything I don't read, or I take that back. There are a couple of people online that I trust enough, like Mark Trapp-Hagan, David Amerlin, that I trust enough to reshare their posts and say, hey, they treat their followers and their stream just like I do, so it's safe to say that what they think is good is going to be good for my followers. So I believe that if we just bind together, create that close-knit group, then it's going to be a whole lot easier to make yourself successful. But you got to be a servant first before you can start being served yourself. I really believe that.
That's a very good point. It's definitely, you got to consider those that are following, and I like your attitude on it. So I think that's one of the things that we hit it off so comfortably, is that we look at it kind of the same, as far as the way I like to say it, and it's starting to catch on pretty good. I've noticed it floats around the internet pretty good, is human to human. It's not one video camera to another, it's not one computer chat to another, but it's the entity, the person, the human behind that post or behind the camera that connection needs to be made. And
I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off, but you're right. It is human to human, and these guys that have made it big online before Wade Harman and Tim Longwell ever came on the scene. These guys that have made it big and made their stamp on the internet with these high pressure sales squeeze pages with these scam products, and these guys have made millions off of the people while the internet was still young. Uh, the you know some of these guys, and I'm not saying that they all have scammed people. I'm not saying that at all, but they have built themselves up a persona that they're untouchable. I went to one of these men and tried to just approach him in a regular conversation, and he acted like I was beneath him. And when you and I met, it wasn't like that with me. I'm not somebody that feels like I'm better than anybody else because you have information that is valuable to me. And I believe that I have information that's valuable to you, and it all goes back to the same thing, the same fact of hey, let's get together and do something together. Let's do a hangout together. Let's try to get some content out there that'll help somebody. And relationships are so simple that they're difficult. Some people make them really difficult. They don't understand that in order to make a friend with Tim Longwell or Wade Harman, you need to get down on Wade Harman's level and speak my language. You need to get off the high horse. In other words, you see what I'm saying? Because these other guys, they've made their personas, they've made their money. In other words, and they've let the power go to their head. And there are plenty of people online today that are successful. Like Martin Shervington is a good example. Very, very much more successful than I am. Yet this guy will lower himself down, and he'll create an event banner image for me and not charge me anything for it. And if anybody's watched the relationship marketing shows, you'll notice that my event banners have changed. Martin Shervington did that for me. And this man is successful. He has got a great business. He don't need to do that. But he understands the power of being a servant to somebody, and that's the key to this whole thing.
Yeah, I like those points. It's very valid. It gets you to thinking, and we all need that reminder sometimes, especially as we become more popular or we branch out in some of the things we're trying to do and everything, that it still boils down to that human to human. So let me ask you something about art. Did art in any way help you develop the program you have been putting together for your followers and consumers? And if so, how?
Art helps me every day. Now, am I an artist? By no means am I an artist at all. Tim's fixing to show you an awesome picture that he's got for you. I could never do that. I couldn't. This back wall. As you can see, this is a curtain behind me here, but I'm waiting on a backdrop. And the reason I want the backdrop is because I can't draw. I want to paint the whole wall blue, and then maybe do a Google Plus logo and a relationship marketing logo. For those of you that have seen the relationship marketing head, I wanted to do that, but I can't draw that. Yet I have to apply art to my social media every day. A good successful social media marketer is a creative artist, because images attract people. That is, I'm not going to say it's more important than the content, because your content is always king, don't get me wrong, but when you go into the social media kingdom, nobody knows that your content is king except you. And the way that you can grab that attention from people is to show them that in the image. You have to create, you have to be an artist, you have to unlock something in your imagination that will grab their eye and grab their attention and make them respond to see that content that you have made for them, that content that's going to help them do whatever it is that they're wanting to do. Now, this course that I'm creating, this so much, the course is more or less the tutorial videos, the how to build relationships, how to make a business model out of relationships. It's going to show you all of that. Now, nobody knows this. Nobody will know that this course is even out there until I build an image that replicates everything that I want the course to be about. I've got to build an image. I have to be artistic enough to say these people have, the image has to attract attention. The image has to be responsive. They have to want to click on my Google Plus post, expand the post, and read it. The image is the first call to action in any social media network that you go to. And now Twitter has started to implement images, and that's perfect. I'm starting to use Twitter a little bit more with Friends Plus Me, and I love the fact that they've got the images in there. But the image is the first call to action. You don't know how important art is to social media and my work personally until you start promoting on social media. So yeah, it's, you know, how would I guess what was the second question? How would I do that, or how does it affect? I think I answered it, didn't I?
Well, yeah, I think you answered it and the next question about how it had helped your business in the past.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not an artist. If you if you go back to my first early days of Google Plus, please don't. But if you do, you're going to see some really bad images, and hopefully you can see the growth. Anybody that has first started online, you can always tell when they're growing and when they reach another rung on the ladder, kind of climb a little bit higher, because their art actually gets better. Their creativity opens up a little more. You can get better and better at art every day. You know why? It's because of a muscle memory. Now, I'm a musician, and there are things you never plateau at being a musician unless you stop being a musician. That's the only way you plateau. Same thing with art and creativity. Your creativity doesn't stop. It only stops when you stop. You only get better at it. So you can see the evolution of my art. As bad as it is even now, you can see that there is a little change in Wade Harman social media images, and it's for the better. And that's, you have to get better. You continually in 2014, it's going to be visual marketing, all year long. I mean, the people are going to be more responsive. Videos are coming out, Hangouts. People will be more apt to watch this video than to read a blog post about this video. So it's all visual stimulation, learning how to control the attention and the responses through artwork. And you just have to keep growing in your creativity, keep pressing on, even if you suck at it like I do. There are tools that you can use that I really enjoy. PicMonkey is one of them, and Canva.com, PicMonkey.com. Those are two great tools to use. If you're not an artist like me, you can go on their site and play around with it and really get the benefit of the artistic side of the social marketer.
Yeah, I've looked at both of those sites. They're not bad. I like what they have done there. They've taken the difficult part of art for a lot of people and simplified it so that you can do those, like you yourself, those images you need for your posts. I've really liked the puzzle pieces that you've been working with here lately. That
who was
without
that?
Canva, huh?
Who was that?
Isn't that you that does the puzzle pieces?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you was reading that comment. I'm sorry.
No, I haven't got to the comment yet.
Okay, yeah, that's me. That came from Canva.
And, it's effective, but it's simple. And you were able to do it even with your limited, self-proclaimed limited artistic abilities.
Yeah, and now, let me tell you about this. The artwork that you're talking about, it's a blog post that I wrote called Piecing Together the Relationship Puzzle. And it's got a little puzzle piece in the middle of it, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about. Again, you can go to wadeharman.com/blog and see that image. But what even now, I can see where I could have done better on that image. Gray, it's a gray background with a yellowish sort of looking puzzle piece in the middle. Gray is not my brand color. See, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, as I go along. You have to understand how art relates to your business and how art relates to your brand. If you forget about that side of it, people aren't going to remember you. And this is something that even I'm still working on. If I had that to do over, I would have put the dark blue background and then maybe a white puzzle piece, because I work mostly with blues and whites now. I'm going to try to stay with the blues and the whites, reds, and images that are calming and have. There was a post I read somewhere, I can't remember it, but it talked about the psychology of images and the emotions that colors bring. So I'll put that in the link after the event is over, and you guys can go check that out.
Great. Let's look at some of these comments here now. We got some nice ones. Cheryl's saying, "What a great take from Wade Harman and Art in social media." And she's loving the show. Thank you, Cheryl, and we're glad to have you here. Then the next one is, let's do that one. Then your friend Sarah again. Is that take? There we go. All right.
You want a blue box that? You want a blue box?
Yeah, it is. It just took a minute for it to sync. Cheryl Lamont is saying that it's very true. She never realized how the business and colors and art all correlate together. So you never know when we're going to sneak up on you and teach you something, do you, Sarah?
Yeah, I know. Watch out. Well, this is a teaching show. I'm leaving.
And then we have Amelia Hoskins. Art is so important for social media. It should be good news for us artists and designers. We should develop ourselves to have our own SM art styles, social media art style. Can't wait to have some time to do it. And all of us can understand that.
In reply to that comment that Amelia is talking about, we should develop ourselves to have our own social media art style. That's branding. That is branding right there. What I'm learning about branding, it needs to be the same across all social media channels. It needs to be the same on your blog. If you'll notice, WadeHarman.com, the logo is wrong right now. The logo is all wrong. And of course, I'm in the process of changing everything around. I'm wanting to do the relationship marketing head with the WH that you see, the logo, and instead of red and black, I want it to be blue, dark blue, and maybe lighter blue, maybe. I don't know. But I want it to stay. I want the same theme of colors. And again, there's some more site designs that I need to clean up on my site. So all of you people out there that think Wade Harman is perfect and great, I am still learning this stuff just like the rest of you. I just don't take as much time on the website part as I do on the people part. And I guess that's a fault, because you have to do housekeeping. And I've let it get so behind that it's not even funny. I'm just having so much fun talking to people and building relationships and building my following that I just let it slip. But the blog right now actually has some black at the top, which actually makes it more professional. But I believe the color theme, I just need a whole overhaul on color. And Jason Mathis, if you're watching right now, ready to get to work, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes we reach a point that we've got to realize whether we're an artist, whether we're an instructor or a blogger or whatever. And several others have made this point, and we need to bear it in mind. There's going to come a time that you're going to have to farm out something. In your case, it's probably going to have to be the color design and everything of your website. because you're so intricately tied into the blog and the human-to-human part of it, that the mechanics of it, of website development and site appearance and everything, you have to be artistic in that too. And if you spread yourself too thin, then you're not effective in any of it.
No, that's right. That's right.
Don't feel bad about the fact that your website isn't where you want it to be right now.
Well, I don't
your
know
sales.
Yeah, if it ever will be, really, I mean, you know, a perfectionist likes to always be changing stuff. But, you know, you're right. There are things that other people are good at that I'm not good at, and so that's where Jason comes in. He helps me with my site, the coding and the building and all that stuff. I can't do that. He is a WordPress artist. It's not, you know, pen and paper drawing anything per se, but it is art in its own form. You're totally right. You know, it's just you have to know, you know what you're good at and know what everybody else is good at, and stay with what you're good at, because if you're doing what you're good at, you're going to love it.
Well, we've been talking about how we can make each part of our activity online and social media, as we're focusing on it, trying to get more balance and everything. The relationship marketing, as you yourself even talked about, that human factor that we both agree on. But as a starting artist, what would you recommend that they first do on Google+?
I would recommend, first of all, to build a Google+ page. Go into the tab on the Home tab and create that page, and create whatever the name you want it to be. That's going to be the page where you want to put all of your artwork on. Now, Sarah Lamont out in the audience, she's got a great page that she puts her art on. It's a Virtual Designs with a Z, and what she does, I'll tell you the same as I tell her. Do one image a day. Now, I don't know, you know, I don't know if you can crank out one image a day with what you do, Tim. She works with stencils and pens, as you work with paint and watercolor, right?
Well, I actually worked with oils as my primary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that probably takes a little bit longer to dry and work with. So, however long it takes you to get one ready, whenever that thing is ready, take a picture, put that thing online, start building your audience, your following. Get into a community and you can search this out. Go into the communities tab, search out art, or if it's, you know, painting with oil painting communities, whatever it may be. Get into that community and start interacting with other artists. Build that tribe right away. That is very important to do. If you have a personal account, say I had Wade Harman Art, a Google+ page, and I just have created it yesterday, but the Wade Harman Google+ account has 13,000 followers. So what I would do is I would go to my Google+ page. I would create my art of the day. I would talk a little bit about it. Don't just put a picture up and post and run. Talk a little bit about it, how it makes you feel, whatever. You know, art is very emotional. This piece behind me, you know, it brings different feelings every time I look at it. So tell the reason why, and then go back to your personal account and reshare from your Google+ page into your personal account. Do that as many times as you can through the week and start to get more engagement. Build a notification circle. Tim, I would suggest to you and to any other artists out here, just as I suggested to Sarah, whenever you share, whether it's on your Google+ page or on your account, with whichever one you're sharing from, tell people, say, hey, this is my artwork. This is my creation. If you would like to be in my art notification circle, let me know, in the comments below, and you'll be notified every time I publish a post like this one. What you're doing is you're building a group of interested people, of interested art lovers that like and want to see what you have to offer. Now, and I don't mean to go too long with this, but me and Sarah were talking the other day. Oh, it's been 3 or 4 months ago. The end result is you don't want to be a starving artist for too long. So you need a web hosting. You need a blog. You need something that you can put this painting on, that you can ship this out to somebody, that I could go to longwellart.com and visit a painting and say, hey, I want that one. Click. That one's $300. I'll take it. Boom. Tim wraps it up and he throws it to me. That's what you want to include eventually in those Google Plus descriptions. But the first thing you need to do is find like-minded people that are talking about the same stuff you're talking about and interact with them while you're sharing that one piece of art. You know, say you do that 2 or 3 times a week, and then use your personal account to help your Google Plus page get more followers as well.
Yeah, in fact, I have a lot of those factors in place myself. And Sarah Lamont is, again, saying that she's followed your directions and she's received positive results about it. Another positive results, I don't know if she's doing it yet. I know I'm guilty of it. People like to see our paintings in stages. And I was working on this one today, especially when it's a painting I can get done fairly quick because of the subject matter or whatever. You don't remember to take those step-by-step pictures. But another thing an artist can do is do a step-by-step and post those throughout a day on Facebook and on Google Plus and such. And then there's the finished image. It's available if you want it. Go get it over here.
That's a good idea. Yeah, step by step. Yeah, it kind of shows people your progress, and people like
they get a
to see
feeling
progress.
with it too. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Let's take
Yeah,
this. Okay, now we're going to shift gears here a little bit. We're at the half hour, so we change gears on WhaTheArt, and we either take questions and answers for our guests from the audience. But this week we're going to kind of turn the tables a little bit, and we're going to add our human to human at the same time. After your presentation in SM Tulsa, you went on an extended vacation. Would you tell us a little bit about what you did?
Oh yeah, we went from Tulsa to I think we drove to Shamrock, Texas. After, well, first of all, when we left, whenever I got through speaking and we left that day, we went to the Tulsa Zoo, and then we drove to Shamrock, Texas, and we saw all these gigantic windmills that were standing in right beside the road. I've never seen those things before, so that was cool. And then from Shamrock, Texas, we drove all the way to, where was that? Did we make it to New Mexico? We made it to Arizona, I think, right before the desert. What is that place called? I can't remember. Kingman. We drove all the way to Kingman, Arizona, and this is on 40, so we stayed on 40 the whole time, and just saw just awesome countryside. These tall buttes would just spring up out of the desert, and then you could see them miles and miles down the road, and then boom, there one would be, and just beautiful landscape and countryside. And I actually started a photography circle and was taking pictures with my phone through the whole trip, and we eventually ended up in California and went to Yosemite, saw the sequoia trees, and walked through those things, and they had snow on the ground up at Yosemite National Park, which was pretty neat. It was, at a time where there shouldn't have been snow on the ground. We just had a blast. We went and we just saw everything, just saw the sights. I've never been out west. We wanted to go, so had fun.
Good. It sounded like you did from watching your photos across and your comments and everything. And something else happened. You had a family member do something with Google Plus right after or during that thread.
Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, it was when I was out in California. We interviewed Jay Bear on the relationship marketing show, and I was talking about what Eli did. My son Eli, he's 4 years old, and we went to Pismo Beach in California with some friends, and they directed us to a candy store that's right off the side of the road, right there by the beach, and there were chocolate-covered crickets in this candy store, and there were chocolate-covered crickets, chocolate-covered scorpions, and chocolate-covered worms. And so Eli wanted to eat one of those chocolate crickets, and I still don't think he knew what he was eating, or he would definitely not have ate it, but he wanted to eat it, and so I ate one with him, and he ate one, and I told Jay Bear about this, and a hashtag chocolate cricket sprang up all over Google Plus. So Eli is the chocolate cricket now. So I just decided to create a Google Plus page for my son Eli Harman. So he now has a presence on Google Plus. So it was pretty cool, that Jay Bear would help out with that. But yeah, he ate a chocolate covered cricket, and I don't even think he knew about it.
Yeah, I saw that, and I remembered the shop you were exactly talking about. I was glad to see that you and your family really enjoyed it, that you saw some beautiful country out there, and now we've seen your pictures and everything. And it's always a good idea to kind of open the shutters and let things air out for a little while, especially when you're in business for yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Before we jump into a painting demonstration, let me ask, first off, let's bring up a couple more comments here, it looks like. Zara's got one. Zara says, "This is super, Wade Harman. Is she sharing the link to this with her sister who's not on G+?" She's got a clarifier there, yet. I've been encouraging her to get out with her art. And she created a hashtag, "Get out with your art."
Nice. Yeah, if anybody has any questions too, throw them up on the comments.
Then we have another one from Amelia Hoskins. "Good advice, Wade. Photo snippets from bigger artworks could also be used. She does it with fashion, but hadn't started it with art yet. Since she put a video up, she had more than 50 followers in a few days on the fashion side. So video also works." And that kind of brings us to a point of one of the things that you told me when you saw me that Friday morning. You said, "You know what you need to be doing before you waste any more time." And do you remember what it was?
Start a hangout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here we are today, because it works, and it's a fun format because we get to enjoy people like yourself, and then we get some little different question answers from the audience, and then people that like to get to learn some stuff. Go ahead.
Well, I think especially on your perspective, when I talked to you, and we talked about the art show. Of course, we didn't know the name of it then, but in my mind, I didn't see. Of course, I know a lot of Hangout hosts. I know a lot of people that do this thing, and to me, you're probably one of the few people that. Now, I haven't searched this out. There might be other shows on there that do the art, but if there are probably not many. So you're standing out from the crowd by doing an art show, an art demonstration, and I think what I suggested to you was doing like what the dude with the big afro did every Saturday. What was his name again?
It's Bob Ross.
Yeah, Bob Ross. I love that guy. I mean, I could sit all day long and watch that guy paint and he did it with a knife, for crying out loud. So, I mean, he just didn't use a knife. He used other. But I can vividly remember the knife, and so I could see that when I was talking with you, as I could see the potential that you would have, and you've got great engagement on this show. I mean, kudos, man, for starting it up. That's what you got to do. You got to take action to get a reaction from people.
And we really appreciate your advice on that, because when it comes to my art, I've been one of those type of people that I need that extra kick in the seat of the pants to get me going sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
All right, real quick before we jump over and show you a few tricks on the painting that I've got on the easel, do you have any questions about art you'd like answered?
Yeah, I mean, how, as far as art goes, how does the oil paintings, is there a certain type of canvas that you have to select before you can put the oil on it? I mean, does other canvases soak the oil up better than others? How does that work? Is there a selection process when you first start?
Yeah, there's multiple types of canvases. You can get the untreated canvas, which means there's nothing on it. You can get it stretched, which means it's already in stringers, and I'll have to do a segment to show people the different types of canvases and such. In which case you build your own canvas size, so then you can get your specialty sizes. And then you stretch the canvas over it and get it good and tight, almost like a drum, only you're putting it on a wood frame. Then you put a primer on it. Now, this is where it comes in difference, and you can buy your canvases pre-primed, whether it be a canvas board or a stretched canvas or a roll of canvas. And the primer is what you're mostly curious about. With oil paints, you can put it on any primer, because in fact most of the canvases you buy pre-primed are acrylic primer, which means I can put it on there, let it dry, I can sand it smooth or put it on heavy and thick and then make little textures and stuff and then paint over it. But for oil paints to really get their full life, and this is where the cost of developing paintings can start running up for the artist before he ever makes a sale, or she, is what they call an oil primed canvas. Which this is a special base on the canvas designed so that, because acrylics will absorb some of the oil and they'll kind of flatten the painting a little bit.
Well, see, that was what I thought, because whenever you put oil on a canvas, there has to be some certain type of canvas that would accept that liquid.
Well, acrylics will accept it, and once you learn how to handle oils, that absorption the acrylic primer does is minimal, so that it doesn't affect the quality of the painting. Whereas an oil primed canvas, the oil paints literally never soak into the canvas at all. They literally sit on top of the canvas.
Now that's what you want.
And that's ideal.
Okay.
Currently, I use acrylic-based canvases unless I'm doing a portrait. Now, if I'm doing a portrait, I'm going to use an oil-based canvas, so you get that stand up and that
pop.
texture to it. Right, exactly. Like I said, I've learned how to get that pop from acrylic canvases, and it's knowing how to apply your oil paints to that acrylic canvas. And in fact, we're hit the point now where we're going to jump over there and say, what do you got there? You just dug something out to show us.
Yeah. No, I'm going to draw a picture.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show you how good I am.
Alrighty. We're going to jump over to the canvas over here, and I'll show you guys a little tricks on finishing up this painting here now I actually did this that you see on there in about an hour. The color's not real good on the camera, this section in here and right up in here is a dark purple. It fades into a lighter colors, as you can see, towards the bright yellow in the center.
Hey, Tim, hang on just a second. I didn't see the camera switch.
You didn't see the camera switch. Okay,
Yep.
I'm showing them both. Well, let's do that. Did that help it?
No, you just went
That's
off.
me.
There you go.
That's what we want. Did it do it that time?
Yeah. Can you blue box that screen right there?
Yeah, it's blue boxed on bottom. Like I said, there's a little bit of sync issue. Stupid mic came unmuted on that second. All right, what's going on here?
Okay, you should be able to click on.
There we go. There we go.
The,
I should have the canvas again.
Yes.
All right. Now, as I was explaining, right in here, and you can see a little bit of it if I get my shadow off of it just right here. You got to work on a different procedure for it. But right in here, along the top and along the bottom is purple, and then it slowly works in and changes to lighters and lighter, and it blends into this yellow here in the center. And you're not seeing as much of the orange over here as you would in real life. But what we're going to work on today is right in here in these buttes, the big towering piles of rock that you were talking about as you were driving towards the desert.
Yep.
The basics of these are laid in already, and it's interesting that you should mention that you were fascinated by Bob Ross using a knife.
Yes.
Because that's what we're going to use today. We're going to use a palette knife.
Okay.
Palette knives come in different sizes and shapes. In fact, this one, over here in the can, there we go. This one is, I use specifically for mix and paint, but you use it to paint with if you want to. What we're going to do today here is, and I don't know how good this is going to come out because I seem to be standing in part of my light. But what we're going to do is, you can kind of see the 3D effect starting in here on the in the camera on where the erosion has occurred in the rock formation. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in there and we're going to deepen and 3D those up a little bit. So I'm going to reach over here and grab a little bit of paint. Just put the paint on the palette knife. It's all actually on the back side of it. Now we're just going to reach in here and we're just going to lay some in here and there. But the only thing with a palette knife is that you can use your paint fairly quick. But see how it's starting?
Yeah, I'm starting to see that just come out.
See how it's starting to bring that texture up now? And it's just a matter of, it's all in how you place your paint and how runny your paint is. Some days. And the neat thing about it is a palette knife tends to add texture as well, so that when it dries, it's not all flat and smooth. This color is darker. I mean, go around with some paint. See, we'll just lay a little bit in here and there. And I'll make this more dark paint. And my clothes not long enough. Alright, let's see if I can reach this. Hang on a second. Thought I had enough paint out. Apparently I didn't. But we'll fix that here real quick. Just lay this in here. It's going to be one of them afternoons. I can see that already. one thing in the studio. If you're in some place that you with oil paints or that you don't want ruined the paint's on the floor and you're on ruining the paint. Let's see if we just go in slowly. Get over that.
Sarah Lamoth is asking if you are self-taught.
Yes, matter of fact, I am. I haven't had. I started with a paint by number set when I was 9 years old.
Huh.
And most of my subject matter I've actually visited at one time or another, driving semi across the country.
Now, what else do you plan on doing to this image here?
Well, when we finish this, right now, because it's oil, it's still wet in here. So I can just touch, and I just pulled some of the paint off.
Okay.
I can just touch that up here a little bit later. But what I'll do is right here in the front, you know those old dead trees that you see that are twisted?
Yeah.
There's a story behind those little trees, too. And those trees, they didn't just grow that way naturally. Those were actually man-made. And I didn't know that myself until actually this in Tulsa. That they set them up as mileage markers or boundary markers for ranches and farms and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I saw a lot of those trees out west.
There's more of them out that way. And what they did is they marked the crossroads with them. You know, we watch the old westerns, and you kind of wonder, well, how did they know to turn left there and go south, or or whatever? You know, they didn't have stop signs on the side of the road. Well, actually, they did. They were these twisted trees, and they'd start them when they were young, and just go in and twist these trees around. So that, and as they grew up, they grew into that twisted shape. And then when they died, we still had that twisted deadfall laying there.
Cool. Yeah, now I'm with the group here. People are saying that they would like to see a Tim Longwell style of art show, and I'm totally with them. I would sit here and watch you paint something for hours.
I appreciate that. I am, right now, I thought the camera I had was good for right. Nice thing about old t-shirts. They're perfect for wiping things off. Because the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to leave the paint to dry on your Tagline. Then they crust up. And if you need a smooth touch or whatever next time, that's not going to work so good. But as you can see now, if I can get out of the light there, you can see now it's got that 3D effect on it, even though you're looking at it very strongly 2D.
Yeah.
And if it was a better camera, you'd see it even better. So the only thing left will be right in here. There'll be one of those old twisted trees that'll kind of set right in here.
Yeah.
And then it'll come up, and it'll have some old twig branches and stuff and different things on it.
So that's going to be a foreground image.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. How are we doing on time here?
4 minutes.
We got about 4 minutes here. I would have to mix up the white paint and everything over that way. If I can show you real quick, you see the sand texture and everything in here? In fact, I can touch up some right in here that could use some loving. Now that, you got to be very careful with. You want to use, notice there's a lot less paint on that knife now. You can just go in and just kind of work it in there. Like that. and then you get out of shadow. See, and that you can see some of the effect, but not a lot because my lighting and the camera isn't as good as it needs to be.
It looks good.
You just kind of break it in there.
Now, how do you decide what colors you're going to put?
Well, you learn after a while. It's just like your graphics for your website or your blog or everything. You learn what colors work good together and what colors don't.
Yeah.
And not only did I have my artwork as I was growing up that started with paint by numbers. Let me go ahead and come back over here. We're getting to that time. And we'll turn that camera back on. But not only did we have that working with paints, because back when I was started painting at 9 years old, it didn't matter what paint you had, pretty much until Bob Ross come along and really started pushing oil painting for the general masses. You had the real expensive German paints, and most of the paint that you got as I was growing up, if you went to places like Hobby Lobby or stuff like that, were these paint by number type paints, whether it was in a tube or not. And if you get two colors mixed together, they turn gray real quick. So you learn real quick what colors not to use together.
Okay.
And then I spent, in the years that I ran my own computer business as a network system engineer and a trainer and evaluator for rehab technology, I also developed websites. And you learn a lot about color and complementary color and everything like that. So I kind of took what I had learned self-taught, carried it over into the internet, and I just got that oil paint all over my shirt. Didn't realize I had it on my hand. But, and that's how you learn what colors go together and what don't. And sometimes you want the clash as an artist. Sometimes your goal is to get it to look something that obvious to stand out. Yeah, I see what you see here about the Sarah Lamotte asking, was I self-taught?
Yeah.
And, yeah. Zara saying, have a Tim Longwell style show.
Hey, yeah, I believe you should. I think it would go over great. You keep building your following the way you're doing, you'll have a good show on your hands.
It's a case of will I have time to paint and do 2 shows a week? Or do I shorten how long I get to enjoy my guests at the shows? So, Wade, any last comments or advice you'd like to give our audience before we take off today?
Well, I would just say get out there and just start connecting with people, have a real conversation on somebody's comment thread or post, and it's all about the engagement. And if you can make an impact on somebody's life that will help them do something, I mean, go do it. I mean, it starts with action on your part. You can't wait for somebody else to take action. You need to go ahead and start it, and they'll come to you. I guess that's what I've learned here so far.
No, I got a surprise. Did you notice this one from Zara?
Oh no, I didn't see that. What was that?
She says, "Yep, Tim Longwell mentions your show and your art on today's show with Ronnie Benser as a way that the HOAs are being used creatively."
Oh, cool.
Now, I don't know whether it was Zara brought that up or Ronnie brought that up, but that it was in Ronnie's show, that in itself is.
Well,
thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, folks, that's been another hour of What the Art, the HOA with Heart. I hope you enjoyed our heart today. We're hearing about Wade's vacation. We've enjoyed having you as a guest, Wade.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. Sarah says, before we go, we got to find out one more thing. Time to ante up. What did you draw?
Oh, let's see. Let me see. It's a stick man falling off a cliff beside of his house.
Ah, you didn't get the cliff finished, huh?
Do you see it? Yeah, well, it looks like a house that's on a boat rather than a cliff, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
We'll have to give you an E for effort anyway.
That's the extent of my artistic abilities. It's a whole lot easier when you've got another website like Canva helping you along. So I don't have the creativity that Tim Ursar does. Definitely.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you today, Wade, and we look forward to talking with you and continuing our friendship here on Google+.
Yes, sir.
Thanks
Thank you for having me.
everyone that showed up today and all your fine comments. Look out, Sarah. I may come looking for you as a guest with all your good comments about art today. Zara, again, we appreciate it. Cheryl Deuce had to take off. Y'all all have a good time, and Wade, the best to you, and that'll be the end of our show today.
All right. See you.